Hey everybody, and welcome to Meals with Melissa, where we come up with great options that are healthier versions of the things you love. So today, well, whether or not you like seafood, we're going to include that in what we're making. Honestly, I actually had to look this up because I've never had the real thing, but we are going to make Carb-less Crab Rangoons. Now, I already tested this out last night. It is fantastic. I always try it out on my family as well. A little craziness going on in my house today. So, weather's getting cooler. It's raining here. Don't know how I feel about that, but fall is here. So, in the upcoming weeks, we'll definitely have some things that have to do with the seasons. But for today, this just sounded good, and you know, I love seafood. So, we're gonna start out with we are making a fourth of the recipe today, but I will include the full recipe down below so that you've got it. Now, I had to work hard to find some of these things because I don't normally purchase them. So we're gonna start with 1 can of white crab meat. This is 6 ounces. And then to that, we're going to add 2 ounces of cream cheese. Now, for all of you who are participating in a keto type of a meal plan, this works just fine. Oh, sorry, my son's being kind of a pill here off to the side. So can you kind of turn that just a little bit now that you messed with it?
Yeah,
there we go. Yeah, that would be my camera crew. All right, so 2 ounces to a can of crab. Now, this is actually like finely shredded. So if you see it, it doesn't look like crab meat, but of course it's been a little bit processed. So we're gonna put that in the bowl. Now, off to the side, I have my oven, which is preheating at 325. And actually, I've already gotten a step ahead of the game. I have taken 2 slices, just already sliced mozzarella cheese, and I put them on the pan, and at 325, just kind of bake them for about 5 minutes, just so that they're melted, because we're gonna use that as our wrappers. So we're not using wonton, we're actually using mozzarella cheese. All right, so to the cream cheese and the crab, we are going to add 1/8 teaspoon of minced garlic. And I love garlic, so I have no problem adding this to what I do. Even if I get a little too much, I'm okay with that. All right, so adding that. We're also going to add about 1/8 teaspoon, I'm just gonna eyeball it though, of onion powder. Same of garlic powder. And a little bit of salt and pepper. That's it. That's the entire recipe right there. Okay, I'm gonna smush that together really, really well. That's a technical term, smush. Okay, you do want your cream cheese to be softened just a bit, just because it is difficult to mix it when it's been refrigerated. So you might need to let that sit out just for a little bit. So once this becomes its own little mixture, we're gonna put it on our little wrappers made of cheese, and we're gonna bake it for a little bit longer. And I will show you what this will look like when it's all done. And yes, I did taste test this last night. Pretty good. Now again, I like seafood. I like almost all seafood. If that seafood is not your thing, you could always just do cheese. You know, that can be a thing. Or you can make it like a pizza pocket. Add a little bit of marinara. Okay, so to this, actually with this, so the full recipe actually is about 12 servings. I've had a lot of people recently ask me what the macros are for each of the recipes. You know, that's something you're gonna have to put in MyFitnessPal, because it really depends on what you use, how much you use, and how many servings you get out of it. So it's very difficult for me to just turn around and give you those direct macros. I don't wanna mess you up. And MyFitnessPal is not that difficult to use. I am a technophobe, and I can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. Okay, so. All right. Okay, so to my cute little wrappers here, I'm gonna add, it says 3 tablespoons. That is not gonna happen. The slices are not big enough for that, but I am gonna add enough that I can still close the slice of cheese around it. Okay, so we put that here, and I know you probably can't see that. Let's kind of get some things out of the way so you can see what I'm doing. I'm just putting, I'm gonna say it's about 2 tablespoons, maybe a little more, on my cheese. Now, it's cool enough that I can actually touch it, so I'm gonna take that up and over, and I'm just gonna seal it with my fork along the edges. And actually, I probably should have gotten to this a little bit sooner, but that's okay. The one I did last night worked perfect because it was still fairly warm. This one's been sitting a little longer. You want to seal it so that this filling doesn't squeeze out the sides. All Okay. Now once it starts cooking, it'll melt again, and so it'll squeeze together. It'll be fine. Then I'm going to cook that for about 4 to 5 minutes in the oven, just long enough for it to melt again a little bit more. And then we have one more step to complete these. They are super simple. You know, I don't do a lot of complicated. I am not the best cook. I love to bake. I don't necessarily love to cook. So when I come up with these, it's because they're easy, they taste good, and I believe that somebody will really enjoy it. And it's a better version of the real thing. So, at least healthier wise. So I'm gonna throw that in the oven, okay? And then let me show you what it's gonna look like. I'll set that timer for about 5 minutes. Okay, so once that's done, actually you're gonna take it out of the oven. You're actually going to squeeze it into kind of a round shape, and then you're gonna broil it for a good about 3 minutes, just till it's nice and toasty brown. Then let it cool just for a couple of minutes. I highly recommend you eat them warm because they taste best that way. But super simple, really minimal ingredients. Honestly, the crab is going to be your most expensive option, and it was like $2.50. But it's awesome, and my son will eat it. So I will leave the recipe down below. You guys, I get my best ideas from you. So if you have a great recipe you'd love to share, pass it on, because, you know, why not share? This is meant to be something we should support each other in. So have an incredibly great day. Enjoy your fall weather. Hopefully you're getting that wherever you live. And until next weekend, that is Meals with Melissa.